Trigger warning. Yes, I'm still in my pajamas. My eyes are swollen because I had a little mini meltdown this morning. And I feel like keeping it real. That's what I do. There's one of our colleagues in the health and wellness space committed suicide a few weeks ago. I've been struggling on. I actually have a podcast with her that was supposed to go out this month, but I've been holding on to it until I get the okay from her camp to let it go. There was nothing on it that like clued anybody into anything. It was just a typical podcast. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your company. She is still doing amazing things for people in the MCAS, the mast cell activation world. So her passing's brought up a lot of stuff in myself. Considering, I've had mental health issues, Lyme disease, mold toxicity, MCAS stuff, and my own, my uncle committed suicide when I was 4. I've had 2 suicide attempts myself, and have thought about it multiple times, more than just the 2 attempts. And what it stirred up in me is most people don't realize that when I started my business back in 2021, I was working for another company, a health company, and I had posted on Facebook that I was struggling earlier that day, but this is what I did to overcome it. It was supposed to be a post of hope. Instead, the company I was working for said it was a cry for help, and that because I worked for a health company, it looked bad on them, and they fired me. So the reason I feel I don't know what her situation was. I can't speak for her. I can only speak for my own personal experience being a professional in the health space who struggles from mental health issues every now and then, whether it's, I walk into a moldy room, I've stayed in a moldy hotel and it's inflamed my brain, or I've eaten something that's not agreed with me that's inflamed my brain, or I've had a little bit more stress that's inflamed my brain. I talk in my comedy how I want to change the paradigm. I want to stop calling people crazy. Instead, I want to say your brain inflammation is showing. Like, that's how much this subject means to me. But a lot of times I still don't feel like I can talk about it fully without being canceled in one way, shape, or form. I was fucking fired from a health company who had overweight people working for them. But for some reason, my mental health issue looked bad on them and they fired me for it. So there is still very much a huge stigma around this conversation. And I've been wanting to say something about it ever since her passing. It's also so sad. I am a strong believer in that when it's your time, it's your time, regardless of how you go out. And suicide people take so personally, and I wish they wouldn't. If you knew what a person was struggling with, you'd be happy for them. You wouldn't take it personally. It would just be like, oh, they got hit by a car. Oh, they died in their sleep, but for some reason people take suicide so fucking personally, and it really has nothing to do with you. So I'm not sure how this is going to land. We'll see. Hopefully I don't get canceled. But I just, it's still once in a while, shit builds up within me every now and then, and it gets kind of hopeless. And sometimes I don't feel like I know where I can turn or who I can talk to that will understand, and worry about how much I put out there because of getting canceled, because of being fired, because of being dismissed, because of not being taken seriously. I'm still a phenomenal freaking healer. And what I have done for myself and what I've done for other people, it's a freaking no short of a miracle. And you still show any kind of weakness or vulnerability and people are like, nope, she ain't got her shit together. She don't know what the hell she's talking about, which is not true. So be kind to one another, right? You never know. You never know what somebody is struggling with. And let's change this topic around mental health, shall we?